All right, so I just happened to be at the store yesterday when I saw just randomly on the shelf Prebiotic Pepsi and Prebiotic Cherry Vanilla. Don't know what that means and how it's going to taste compared to regular Pepsi, but I'm going to try it right now. All right, so we're getting healthy. Again, prebiotic is not to be confused with, what's the other one? Probiotic, which is like, it's in yogurts, and that's like bacteria for your digestive tract and whatnot. But prebiotic is just, as far as I can tell, just like fiber, plant fiber, dietary fiber. So you eat apples, carrots, vegetables. It helps you digest, and it's food for your gut bacteria. And I think that's what these are supposed to have in them. It's also not diet, but it's not full sugar either. Like it says. 5 grams of sugar, no artificial sweeteners, and yeah, there's just 5 grams of added sugar versus a tall boy, but still, a tall boy has 55 grams. So this bad boy's got 11% of the sugar you're supposed to have. This has 110. So definitely, it's not just Pepsi with some vitamins sprinkled in, versus like a Pepsi, which I couldn't find a can of on such short notice, which has nothing but has aspartame. This doesn't. It says it's carbonated water, cane sugar, and then soluble corn fiber. So again, how corn syrup, everything's corn, but this is, instead of like whatever like metamucil fiber stuff is, this is corn fiber. And it's got a little bit of caffeine in it, 30 grams. And then it also said 3 grams of probiotic fiber. And in the little box that come in the 12-pack, it said, like, in order to feel the effects of the fiber, you are supposed to have at least 10 grams a day. So just having one of these a day isn't going to really like do something for you. It's going to, it's better than nothing, maybe. You're still drinking soda. But if you just want a little extra, sprinkle in some protein, sprinkle in some fiber every here, there, and everywhere. Probably that's what this is supposed to be like. So they've had other Pepsis and other Cokes that had like different sweeteners, or it was light, so it wasn't like 100% sugar. It was just kind of a little bit. Maybe that's what this is on top of the fiber. Again, this by itself isn't healthy. It's not like a fiber drink unless you're chugging. The box said 10 grams, and like the websites say you're supposed to have like 20 to 30 in a day for like a healthy amount of fiber you should be eating. So if you're gonna chug 10 of these a day, you're still gonna need more. This is not the end-all solution, but we don't care about that. All I care about is how it tastes. I do like the blue gradient versus just dark blue. You can love me a gradient. So I'll probably put that on the thumbnail text. But let's just try this out right now. Oh, and then we got vanilla sugar here too, vanilla cherry. I couldn't find vanilla, but I did have a wild cherry and cream, so I'm gonna try it and see. Again, not 1-to-1, but better than nothing. All right, so let's try this Prebiotic Cola. Smells like Pepsi. Yeah, it's not as sweet as Pepsi, probably because there's literally like 1/10 of the sugar in here. Not as smooth, but it doesn't, you don't taste the artificial sweeteners like you do with the diet. So let's test that theory. Regular Pepsi. Yeah, it doesn't feel as like carbonated or bubbly because probably more sugar, and it's a little bit smoother. This is only slightly sweeter than this. Just kind of right away. It wasn't as like dramatic as I was almost remembering. Yeah, not as sweet, but not just salsa water either. Let's try it. Diet Pepsi again, even though I couldn't find a can. It does taste different though. Yeah, totally different. Diet Pepsi, aspartame, artificial sweetener. So if that's what you like, go this way. But if you don't want to go full diet and you're like, I still want a little bit of sweetness in my life and could use a little fiber, this could work too. Again, it's not so dramatically unsweetened that I'm like, ugh, I would drink that. If given the two, I would drink this. I don't really care about the fiber, and there's such a small amount in there. It's probably just as a gimmick, but it's just that much less sugar. So if I, put a gun in my head and said, you must drink this one. And now I'm moving on to vanilla. Ooh, very cherry. I think that's what cherry Pepsi smells like. This is much more flavor. Still only has the 5 grams of sugar. So if regular Pepsi isn't doing it for you, you want a little bit more kick, this one right here is more flavor to it. Not really tasting too much vanilla, but it does taste like cherry Pepsi. Not bad. And again, only 30 calories per can. Much better than 200. Again, this is a tall boy, so still be over 100 for one can. And then just to see, wild cherry and cream. Again, not vanilla, so is cream vanilla different? Probably. Do not take this as gospel here, but this one smells a lot more like creamy, vanilla-y almost. Yeah, this one you can see it on like the art, the like dribbly. This one just has a hint of cherry, much more of like the cream part of it. So totally different here. But not bad. Again, if you're going out of your way to drink something and you have a choice, these might be better for you, better for your life, for your health. We got fiber in these bad boys now. Next is going to be protein Pepsi 2, so I'm calling it now if they haven't announced something like that. But again, Prebiotic Cola, 3 grams of fiber, tastes pretty much like Pepsi, but just a step down in terms of the sweetness. From the percentage of sugar that's in this versus the real Pepsi, it's not, the same, it's not 50% less and 50% less taste. It's pretty similar for how much less sugar is in this. And again, the cherry vanilla one has a lot more cherry flavor to it. So if you do like cherry Pepsi, you probably should try this better. It's more flavorful. Probably enjoy drinking it more. But if you just like sipping on some cola, this does the shot too. And you don't need to see my fingers in the way. You know what I'm holding at this point. There you go. So not too bad. Both of them taste pretty good. I'm probably not going to feel the effects of any extra fiber in this. If I do, maybe I'll do a little follow-up, as I'm passing out in the bathroom or something. But again, I don't think it's going to happen. But still, I guess, if you're going to drink, try these instead of diet. Or, if you don't want artificial sweetener, but you don't want a bunch of sugar, this might be a nice little happy medium for you folks out there. So good luck out there. Let's be healthy, fiber for everybody. Go eat some salads, fellow rabbits, and I'll see you next time. Later.